Good afternoon and welcome to Link. I'm sitting here chatting with Louis Thompson. Welcome again, Louis, to Link.
Thank you for having me, Laverne.
Louis, how have you survived all these years in New York with your illustrious acting career?
Wow, that's a good one. Yeah, it has been very hard. I mean, it's really incredibly hard for a lot of us, especially actors of color. And I think in the industry, there's one of the many problems is they keep seeing us as color. They're not seeing us as people. And not to put them down, you know, it happens all over the world, even in our country. You know, you're supposed to have so many rights. Blacks and Hispanics have so many rights that they tell you. But then you have a system that constantly tries to take those rights away in different ways, whether it's housing, whether it's law, whether you're dealing with neighbors, even dealing with your own people. And the one thing I've learned from my parents that taught us, and I had two good parents, they were both married. They had us when they were married. They didn't have us out of wedlock. So we got a good start. We were born and raised in the projects. We didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot, but we had family love. Mm-hmm. We had love from our parents who taught us respect for ourselves and other people, and they taught us self-respect. They told us self-esteem, which is very important. And I'm not seeing a lot of that in people when I walk around. In the morning when I get up and go to work as a waiter, a lot of times I try to study the faces of people on the trains and the buses, and even my coworkers when I get in. But I always find a way to make everybody laugh and smile. I say good morning, or I'll say hello. I say it to the GM, to the managers, to the kitchen staff, to the gentleman that cleans outside in front of the store, in front of the restaurant, to the people who haul away the garbage. And everybody knows me, not just because I'm a good waiter, and I am. I've been a waiter 12 years. It's a good profession for a lot of people. It was a good profession for me, but it's just something tells you inside it's time to move on. You have to make your own happen. So my career is more important, and so is my happiness. So what I do is every time when I'm dealing with my customers, and they always ask me the same thing, where are you from? You're so nice, and you're so great, you're educated, this and that. And I understand, because they're not meeting a lot of people of color, blacks and Hispanics. They're not meeting a lot of us who give off that positive image. A lot of us are walking around with this pessimism and this negativity and this anger, and you see it because they show it to you. They're not showing themselves. They're showing all their problems. Yeah, I have problems too. Life isn't perfect. It's not perfect for an actor. I'm out there struggling. But I try to find ways to get myself out there, doing independent films. And we do those for nothing because there's no budget. They feed us, thank God, but there's no money for us to have. If I'm doing background work because I'm non-union so far, I will get into SAG soon, I know it, I feel it coming. But if you're non-union, a lot of times you don't get treated right. I'm not saying they're trying to be cruel, it's just that they don't pay attention to you because you're not a union actor. Mm-hmm. So when I come on set, I always give a positive attitude. I always show myself as positive, whether it's working on Law and Order or it's working on 30 Rock, which I haven't done yet, and I'd love to get, because I got a couple of calls, but I had to work, so I couldn't do it. But I'm gonna get another one going on that and different shows like that. And anytime I come on set, I give respect. I always say hi to everybody, whoever it is. But I also try to head straight to the catering truck so I can get that coffee and food before I start the day, because it's more important. But you sit there and holding, you get to talk to everybody, you get to know different people. They give you different insights on what they're doing in their careers. You give them insights on yours. I finally had enough money to join the internet, to get internet for my laptop, because I didn't have money before. You have so many bills, you have rent to pay off. It's hard, but I'm optimistic. And why am I optimistic? Is because my spirit is too strong for anybody to break it. I won't let that happen. I won't let my own people break it. And a lot of times I get a lot more flack from my own people, black people, who are supposed to stick together and know things. A lot of us aren't sticking together, and I see it. I see Hispanics sticking together. I see Asians sticking together. What about us? We're supposed to be the together people from Africa. So we've lost that track, a lot of us, and we got to get back on track. So the way to do that is look at yourself in the mirror, and like I said in my piece before, do you like yourself? Where are you going in your life? Are you good to other people? How do you treat other people? It's different, simple questions, simple answers, not complicated at all. A lot of times in this country, we're so embarrassed by things. Oh, I don't have anything. I'm not rich like anyone else. I don't have a fancy car like this person's driving. I don't have a big mansion. You know, I live in Queens. There are a lot of big mansions around. I rent a room in a private house, and I'm very happy. My bathroom is outside my door, next door, and the kitchen is right there. I'm not complaining. The landlord is cool. The people who live with me are cool. They're always encouraging me and my acting career because they see what I have. I have a positive attitude. Not everything is sunny. Not everything is wonderful in my life. There are a lot of disappointments. When we were growing up as kids, and we grew up in Astoria, Queens projects, there were a lot of things that happened. But I'll tell you the truth, a lot of those people I saw as a child are a lot of people I'm seeing now, and I'm an adult. And that's a shame because we should know better by now. So we got to make changes in this country, everybody across the board. I'm glad Obama got elected president. And I'm glad we finally got someone of color in the White House. What a metaphor, someone of color in the White House, I love it. But I'm glad we finally got somebody there because it changes the country. It makes us realize, yes, we can be part of the future. And I've been thinking of this and talking to a lot of other people. Here we are in the 21st century. We are in the year 2011 now, a new year. And look at all the things that are happening in the country. In Cairo, Egypt, they're rioting. They're sick of this guy Mubarak. He's got to get out. I'm sorry, 30 years there and the people ain't getting anything. You got to get out. Look at the things that are happening in Greece with their economic problems. Look at things that are happening in Turkey, Iran, Iraq. Iraq's going to get its act together. It's going to happen because the people need it. Iran, that government's going to come down. Not because it's just totalitarian, and it is, but because the people deserve better than that, and they deserve more. They deserve more religious freedom. They deserve more to be appreciated more as people. And that's the government's fault. It's not doing it. So when you want to constantly crack down on people because they're protesting for something better and you want to kill them and put them in prison, you're showing us in this country your act ain't together. So sooner or later, the people are going to win. They're going to win in Cairo. This guy's going to get out. He's had 6 assassination attempts on his life. I think the message is clear. Bro, you got to leave. So when I look at these things in the world, and yes, there is all this stuff, but you know what? You still got to have that spirit. You still got to stand out. I refuse to quit. My acting career is more important. I am going to make it. I'm going to be like Sidney Poitier, which is my mentor. I'm going to be like Denzel Washington. I think he's cool. I think Sidney's more cool. I'm sorry. I'm going to be like Humphrey Bogart, who I read in the paper yesterday, in the Sunday paper, is born and raised in New York. Wow. And he came from an upright family. He came from a rich family. So think about that. All these people did all these things. And all the things happening in the world, we can do this. It's going to happen. And this country is going to pick itself up, get its act together. We're going to get jobs because it's slowly happening. And the economy is going to turn around. Why? Because I said so.
And on that note, I say thank you, Mr. Lewis Thompson, and we're going to look forward to seeing your star rise. I already knew it was already there because you've done so many wonderful things.
I appreciate it.
On Link. So we're going to say goodnight.
Also, the last thing I want to mention to people, one of my last accomplishments, you know, Oprah's going off the air. I already sent her my picture and resume and acting reel and a letter asking for help for my career. So you never know. Look out, people. Lewis Thompson's coming, and LT is not too far behind.